Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello, Miss Juergens.
Hello, and this is the third and final installment of this week. We've been talking a lot about sex tapes and
Fitness
conscious uncoupling and fitness. We want to put it all together today.
and kept women. By the way, I want to be a kept man. I need somebody to pay me 20 grand a month to just sit there and wait on them.
No, you don't. Because at the end of the day, like, are you really happy like with that kind of existence?
Oh, Michael.
Get in my bed.
Yes. Okay, yes.
Not to mention, like, then you have to like buy all the sexy lingerie, and I'm so anti-sexy lingerie. Like,
Wait, sexy lingerie for men?
If somebody's paying you 20 grand a month, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you have to look good.
Oh my God. If someone's paying me 20 grand a month and they expect me to wear anything other than my Huggies, then
Snuggy.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not okay. I'm pretty sure you better evolve past the Snuggie into the Victoria's Secret. I'm pretty sure.
What you want is beyond the Snuggie, okay? You don't worry about all that, okay? You ain't got to worry about all that.
Imagine like this Playboy bunny living in the Playboy mansion, and what's his name? Who owned the Playboy?
Hugh Hefner.
Hef comes out in his robe. He can have the robe, right? Because he's got the money. He's got his pipe. He's like, babe, come here. And she comes down the stairs in a Snuggie. Is that okay?
I gotta be honest with you.
No,
I am
right now. When you say I gotta be honest, it means you're really even being honest with yourself. That's what's gonna come next. Think about it.
I'm a little bit offended right now.
Well,
I'm going to tell you right now, when I say I got to be honest, what I'm actually doing is I'm putting a guarantee on the box. That's a warranty. That means this box comes with honesty.
listen,
And what I was going to say is I'm actually...
bullshit.
There's no one here to hit. There's no one here to hit. Like, dude.
Be a mess because this is the third one we recorded in a day, and now by the end we're like, oh.
Would you shut the hell up on this podcast?
Go ahead.
Listen to me.
Listen,
I'm really.
I'm gonna the rest of the episode. I'm gonna look like this.
You know, this is why we cannot break 61 subscribers.
Cannot have nice things.
This is why I cannot take you anywhere. Where is the last place that we went? Oh my God. Anyway, what I was going to say is, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, like lingerie is cool. I think it can be nice, but
I never saw no Playboy bunny in a Snuggie. Not once.
Well, I don't give a damn about a Playboy bunny because they were all just emaciated, just porpoise-headed succubuses. I couldn't care less about any one of them. You know what? You told me to spell one more thing on this podcast. You know what? I'm coming to Long Beach. I can't even take it no more. I'm coming out there. I came out there the other day. I should have just given you one for like all the freaking podcasts where you've interrupted me.
Listen.
What?
We're gonna run a poll. If you pay somebody 20 grand a month to be a kept woman, to be your mistress, to basically be your sex toy, agreed upon sex toy. They have so you know how you're talking about the apps. They have an app for that called like Sugar Daddy. Like literally, it's an app in which.
Hold on, let me write that down.
Look it up. I've never
Sugar
looked
Daddy.
it up, but apparently it's an app where they make no qualms about it. They say they're looking, girls, I assume, looking for men and men looking for girls. Could be same sex, I don't know. For sugar daddies. And the sugar daddies are looking for women and they make an agreement on what they're gonna pay per, I don't know, coitus or per date or whatever. And it's just all right out in the open. The only difference between that and like what most relationships are in LA is that they don't realize that it's that. And so then the guys get all upset. And,
what?
I can't do it.
No, I'm trying. I don't understand what you're saying. They don't realize that it's that. What do you mean?
Yeah, they're like the women are shallow and just want to be kept, and the men who are working hard have the money, and so they do it. But then they get involved and they think it's love, and it's not love. It's just an agreement.
You're saying that the guys that select the women on this particular site that you're talking about don't understand that they're paying for.
I shifted it to like
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, huh?
relationships in LA, like that they don't have an understanding that they should be on that site, so then they'll get like understand what they're getting.
So
But
it's just an LA thing.
Well, it's like you said last time, it's LA is very different than the rest of the world, like in that case. But at any rate, I want to run a poll. If you're somebody, man, if I was a dude and I was like, yeah, you be my honey.
That's how you would talk. You'd be like, yeah.
You be my honey. $20K a month. And
That's why you would have to pay for it.
And she came down the stairs in a Snuggie. Oh, no, you're fired. You're fired.
You want to know what's funny about what you're saying? And maybe I'm just like old fashioned or kind of old school or whatever. I would be like, man, what's under that? I think the imagination is so powerful. Like we see naked women everywhere now. Like it's nothing. I just went to Vegas a couple.
It's just a body. Like if we make
No. But what I'm saying is there is something to keeping something for the imagination, dude. I'm walking down freaking Fremont Boulevard, whatever the hell, and women are damn near like naked now. And I'm not talking about like the general population. I'm talking about the people that want to take pictures with you that literally will just put a Band-Aid over their nipple or something. There's no big deal about seeing a naked person now. Literally, I just turn on my TV and there's naked people. And so it's like, whatever. I actually think there's something sexy about like, hey, I wonder what's really going on. What are you saying? You
Snuggie. You think something sexy about a Snuggie?
No, you're just using that stupid reference towards a Snuggie. I'm saying she don't have to come down the stairs in some little rinky-dink piece of lingerie where I can already see everything anyway. I'm saying like if there was just, come down in some jeans and a little nice little top or something, that would get Mike going. I don't know about these dudes that you meet in LA and all this kind of stuff. I'm telling you right now, real men like me.
These are not dudes that I have anything to do with. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you think about it, at some point you probably have to buy some lingerie. If you're gonna be a kept man, like you said, you'll be a kept man for $20K a month. You're probably gonna have to buy like a little thong, banana hammock. You're gonna have to you have to shave some parts that you never shaved before. You're gonna have to like do some stuff.
We need to shift this conversation. This is now.
I have a good segue. Let's shift it to. I got something for you.
You got something for me?
Hold on. Here we go. What do you think about that? Well, okay. So, just to round out our week, talking about sex tapes, gender.
Wait, can you help me out here for a second? Is that a woman that became a man or a man that became a woman?
That's a man that became. Well, they said he became a woman. That to me, that's not even clear. Like, if you grow your hair out, are you now a woman? That's what I want to know, because like, in no way, shape, or form does it look like a woman. And
okay, go ahead.
She's competing. They're allowing her to compete in the Olympics.
Okay, so I actually. What is the last thing you said?
Against women.
Right. So I actually heard this morning about this story, and the little that I gathered, the Olympic Committee actually has a testosterone test that they do on all the people to decide whether that person qualifies to be like to compete against whatever the sex is. So essentially this person right here, this Hubbard person, qualified because she, I guess we call her she, right? She had less testosterone than whatever the highest part of this test required. So she made it under that, and that's why. So I guess why I'm saying that is because I don't know if this person actually has lady parts or if this person has male parts, but has basically been doing everything they need to do to transition.
Okay. What is the average lift of a female Olympian, poundage wise? Do you know?
I don't know, but I would guess that it's nowhere near the, I think, 628 pounds that this person lifted.
That's what I'm getting at. I believe it's like 300 something for women.
So basically, this dude just
go and just blow all the women out of the water and stand on the gold, and that's horseshit.
I love it. I love it. Ladies, meet this next person in the competition.
Like, what the hell?
And he just comes, or she just comes up there, kind of stretches.
I haven't even lifted for like 3 months. Like, I don't know. Oh!
And then wait a minute. The next part to your question should be, Mike, what is the most that you've ever lifted over your
54 pounds.
And I answer, it is nowhere near 628 pounds. Listen, there have been times in my life where I know that I am considered an above average strength man. Maybe not right now, because according to our last episode, I haven't worked out in 6 months, but I'm a pretty strong guy. Anyway, I have never lifted anything close to what this person has supposedly lifted in the powerlifting competition. And I don't know what the women lift. And maybe they're all like super badass. Maybe they're all lifting like more than 500 pounds or something. We probably need to find that out to see what the disparity is.
They are all super badass, but I don't think any of them are lifting 600 pounds. So that's just the thing. Like, at some point, this has got to stop. Like, we are trying so hard to be a very inclusive society, and that's wonderful and that's great. But to what end? Like, at some point, you got to draw lines. Like, you really do, to protect your society that you live in, to protect the 99%. Like what our friend said that, right? Like, why are we catering to the 1% for the 99%? That's kind of like everything in the last year, right? We're finding that we're trying so hard to be inclusive and fair, and that now we're finding we're not being inclusive and fair to the vast majority of the people, but just to the ones who are on the fringe. Like, I need to be very inclusive and fair to these guys. So then what about all these other women that have trained their entire lives? Like, oh, now this man just comes in, like, what the hell? That's such bullshit. These are Olympics, all their hopes and dreams. They've been training for 25 years. And here's their opponent, Bob Jones. He's been training for 1 month, but he's a woman now. Like, what the fuck? Like, he just throws it. Like, the high score so far is 300 something. He just throws it. It's like, oh yeah.
But then look, after he lifts the weight, he looks over at the women like, get some. Get some.
Society. Like, yeah, like, what?
Listen, but you know this topic is so complicated because
of course it is. Like, I agree with your want and need and ability to be whoever you want, be it. But if we're really truly looking to protect our society, if that's even a thing, I think you have to look at the vast majority of society. Like, this is just hurtful to so many. To include one, you're hurting every other woman in the entire Olympic field in lifting. Like, what?
Well, let me tell you this one point of fact, Miss Juergens. Okay. That dude is representing the United States. So we're all about to get gold, baby.
Is he really? No, hold on. Is he really?
That dude is the U.S. Oh, no. That dude is the U.S. We're about to get another gold. Thank you.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. That dude is oh, no, that dude is from New Zealand.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's not, yeah, we're not going to get
Oh, no, this is unfair. This is unfair. This is not right. This is not, no. Hubbard is from New Zealand.
Yeah, Hubbard transitioned in her mid-30s. Like, what? Again, and again, the way you can look at this is like, are there any women who transition to men who are now in the Olympics lifting. No, because they fucking can't. Biologically, they cannot. They won't make it. So why is it allowed the other, like...
Close the website, because I think you're unless you want to show us something. No. Listen. Again, I feel like I feel sorry for the woman, right? Hubbard. I feel sorry for her because she has probably been struggling her entire life with feeling like she is a woman trapped in a man's body. Like, honest to goodness, I feel bad for her, but I feel bad for all the women who are literally competing and putting their physical bodies and minds and hearts to the test, like every day to achieve a goal. I feel horrible for them, but it's kind of like, at some point, someone's just gonna have to say, look, I'm not racist, or I'm not sexist, or I'm not whatever IST. I'm just trying to be fair. This guy should not be competing with women. Like, someone's gonna have to just say that. And then after that person says that, right, everybody else is gonna have to like get behind them, right? Because a lot of times, anytime someone steps out there to say something like that, like I'm saying it right now, but I don't have any power in this situation, everybody just cowers. Again, we go back to the 95%, the sheep. Everybody just cowers, and they know damn well if that was your daughter, no, let me just use myself. If that was my daughter, and I'm not talking about Hubbard, I'm talking about any of the other women competing, and my daughter had to go to Tokyo to compete against this man that transitioned to a woman who is clearly stronger than even some of the strongest of men, like men who want to be men, that are men that work out. This is not right. This is not right. It's just not right. And if you want to call me I don't even know what the name is for someone like what I'm saying right now, but listen, or transphobic, I think it is. It's probably transphobic or something, right?
You have a real word for it already?
Yeah, I think it's like you're transphobic.
Transphobic. It is not transphobic. It's not against trans people. You have to compete in the gender that you're born, and that you just have to make it this way until, again, maybe 1,000 years from now, when all the genders are mixed and nothing matters anymore, then this can change. But for right now, men are clearly much less body fat percentage, much higher body muscle percentage. Biologically, they're just born that way. And to tell them that now you can go and lift or run or whatever against women who run at half the speed or lift half the amount, that's just, what are you even doing? What are you even doing to the sport? Like, now you're taking all of women and discounting all of the work they've done. That's...
Well, I don't even think 1,000 years from now this is resolved, because in 1,000 years, a woman's still going to be a woman and a man's still going to be a man. I think. But, well, 1,000 years, when you talk about the evolutionary time continuum, is like nothing. So, that's literally like nothing. But at some point, the world, maybe not the world, it's hard to speak for the world. I think we can only kind of speak for the United States. Oh my God. The viewers love you so much. I can see why. But listen, at some point, someone's just going to have to say, we're losing our minds. We are, honest to God, losing our minds on everything. Like, I was listening to a show the other day, a radio show, and they had a very famous comedian on, and the comedian was literally like, 50% of what I want to say now, I don't say in my stand-up routines, because he's like, you're just going to offend X amount of people. And the host of the show was like, yeah, but don't people understand that comedy has always been around to offend people in a humorous way? It makes people think, it makes people laugh, it challenges thought. How many times have you listened to a comedian where you were like, yeah, you know what, that's kind of true, but they said it in a humorous fashion?
Well, I think let's challenge those thoughts in a way that makes you laugh, so then also makes you think like, oh yeah, why am I offended by that? Like, but that doesn't make sense. which is good.
Like, I mean, you look at some of the greatest comedians ever, like Dave Chappelle. We'll just use him. Like, his whole routine is to make you think, right? I mean, it's always to make you think, but literally he could be offending everyone with every word that he says. Everything that comes out of his mouth could offend somebody. I just don't know, like, how far do we go with this politically correct, just coddle everybody? Like, years and years and years ago, when I started having kids 16 years ago, and so you start listening to stuff about kids, you know, I heard that they took dodgeball out of school, right? I don't know if you played dodgeball in Minnesota, but it was huge here. I was like, dude, I think I actually became a man playing dodgeball. I really do. I think dodgeball put hair on my chest. That is the greatest game ever. And you know what's funny? When I played dodgeball back in the day, it was always co-ed. The girls were always playing with us, and we didn't show any mercy. If you were standing in front of me, I was trying to take your head off. I didn't care what was between your legs. And now it's like, oh, you know, the dodgeball kids get, you know, they get hurt and then they have to go out. And I'm just like, golly, dude. And then like AYSO, like when I grew up playing AYSO soccer and I played till high school, we lost and we didn't get participation trophies and we did not get certificates acknowledging anything. We were last place. We were last place. And if you were first place, you got a nice big shiny trophy that said you are first place. I hate the fact when I put my kids in soccer 10, 12 years ago that they didn't keep score and everybody got a trophy at the little pizza party at the end of the year. I was like, this is nonsense. No, this is bullshit. That's what I was saying. Like, are you kidding me right now? I want my kids to learn how to lose because them losing is going to teach them to want to win.
Well, and that's so valuable that you say it that way. It's like everyone's like, oh well, you know, people, we want to make sure everyone's included, but there's something about that. It's like even with school is like everything's like, oh, you can't fail, you can't fail, you can't fail. Oh, you got to get a good grade, you got to listen, you got to obey, you got to no fail. But failing is a part of winning. Like, you know, when you fail and you have the tenacity and the grit to get back up and you're like, okay, what did I do wrong? Now what do I got to do better? You know, we don't have any of that right now because number one, in school, kids are just scared that they're never going to fail, so they don't try. So the school just coddles them and they just, I see it in my own kids. I try all the time. Like, they're like, oh, wait, you just help me. Like, I'm like, you tried for 1 second. And they're like, no, you just do it. Like, I'm like, how did I raise kids like this? From my body, from this body, I have kids like this because this is how our whole society is, right? So like I work so hard towards that to tell them like it's okay to fail. It's okay to do something wrong. My daughter, who was like loved school in TK and kindergarten, all of a sudden hated it in first, second grade. And I was like, what the hell? And then this year she was home and it was great. She had a really good teacher too, who I really liked. He was super great about saying this, like, hey, listen, I want you guys, everyone to raise your hand. And you know what? You're going to get it wrong a lot. And you know what? That's cool. That's how we learn. Like, and he made that known. And like, that's okay. Like, it's okay to be last place. Doesn't mean you need to have someone give you a hug like, oh, it's okay. Like, no, you got last. Now let's think about, okay, well, what do you think we could do to start moving up the field towards first, right? Like, why do we do this? So we're trying to make everybody feel included, which is a good thing. You know, I understand where we're coming from, but also when you try so hard to make everybody included, it's actually backwards, like communism, right? Why it failed so quickly. Like, what was it, like 3 years or something? Like, they're like, oh, we're going to include everybody, but we found out it was just trash. Like, what happens is that it actually like divides the entire society, makes people trashy people, and the society's terrible. Like, that's
people, what it really is human nature is to desire acknowledgement for your work, right? You don't want your work to go unacknowledged. So if you put in all the work over the course of a soccer season and you kick the tails of everybody out there, and at the end of the season you see everybody's getting the same trophy, you're like, why do I even need to put in the time or the effort when everybody's getting acknowledged in the same exact way that I am? It's such garbage. And I mean, this conversation has sort of morphed just a little bit, and bringing it back,
the same thing. I really do. I think in our efforts to be inclusive of Hubbard, And like, oh yes, you can compete in the Olympics, because of course there is a maybe even a growing percentage of society that is, you know, transgender. Also, by the way, there are growing numbers of transgender societies who have changed back, who have retransitioned or have regretted getting their transition. You don't hear about that. Like,
Oh, I've never heard that.
so much, you know, within that small segment of the society as well. But at what point do you say, like, if we go back to the whole gender thing, it's just, you can't, and same thing with the trophies for everybody. You can't, not everybody can have a trophy, but you have to serve the greatest number of people. And by allowing some man who, yes, he's a woman now, sure he is, it's great, I'm sure he's a beautiful human being, but allowing him to compete with it, it's like giving everybody a participation trophy. And not only that, he's going to get the gold, they're all going to get fucked. Like, that's just, like, what kind of society? That's the society we want. That's what we want.
So I think it's going to make a mockery of the Olympics and what a gold medal means if this person goes in there and just destroys all the competition. Now, again, I really wish I knew what the average ability was for these Olympic females.
Right now, let's see.
Yeah, because it kind of would give it context. Because if she's lifting 628 pounds and they're all lifting like 600, well, that kind of actually could sort of change the approach. But if they're all doing like 400 or 300, then yeah, it's just nonsense. So we need that. We really need that information. But I also had a question for you while you're kind of looking that up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there's an age where it's just the child is too young for the parent to be?
Yes. Yeah, at least 18. Yes, just like a tattoo, like a fucking. They can't get a tattoo before they're 18. How can they gender reassign before 18?
No. I wasn't gonna say that, like the full on reassignment. That obviously should be as an adult. What I was gonna say is, do you think there's an age where it's too young to even acknowledge the possibility of not being the sex that you were born, right? So for instance, like if you look at Dwayne Wade, and I'm sure you know who Dwayne Wade is, a basketball player,
And
his son wants to transition into female, and I'm sure that's going to happen, especially they have money, that's going to happen, and they fully support her.
How old is she?
She's something like, when this first started, she was something like 9 or 10, and she's probably like 12 now, somewhere in that range. And my thought was, hey, good on them for loving her and supporting her and making her feel special. But also a huge part of me was like, but how many times have we all changed our thoughts on several different things as we grew up and, you know, grew into the man or woman that we're going to be? I guess I was just thinking, like, I feel like it's kind of young to be acknowledging or validating her his feelings to become a woman, because maybe that changes in the next couple years. And if you're already just like, yep, this is going to happen as soon as we can get the assignment done, it's done.
Yes, and I think that's why I was reading an article. I don't have it up to share, but I was reading an article about somebody who was actually she became a therapist now because she was a man, went through gender reassignment, and now, I mean, has dreams of still seeing her penis, wishes she never did it, wish all of this, right? And now she's a therapist, but she doesn't talk about it on social media at all because she gets so much hate, you know, because, you know, transgender is trying to build a movement, and they don't want to take a step back to talk about people who are like, wait, no, I didn't want it and I did it, right? Like, I wanted it at the time, but now I wish I didn't, right? They don't really want to hear that, kind of like the whole COVID, and you don't want to hear talking about health, right? I think it's young. I don't know their situation. I don't know how clearly I'm sure there's obviously kids can know themselves, right? Like, kids know they're gay when everyone tells them they're not gay. Like, families clearly don't want their kid to be gay. So like, no, you're not, pray to Jesus. And they know they're gay, right? When they're young. So can you know in your heart that even though you're born a girl, that you're meant to be a boy? Maybe. Yes, maybe. I don't know. I haven't experienced it, but I think it's possible. I just also think that it's something that I would really, you can be that, be the girl, do whatever you want to do, but to gender reassign at such a young age, I think is a lot. I think that's, like I said, even before with a tattoo, you have to be 18, like at least fucking 18, at least make them think about it until 18. It's not something that you can ever get back. You know, it's not something you ever go back to. I personally, if I had my own kids, I would love them any way they are, but I would want them to wait until they're 18 before they had any surgery. But can they know? I think they possibly can. I also think that there's just a general love of things too. Like maybe you're a girl, but you just love to do everything that boys do. Some, you know, can you think, well, maybe I should be a boy? Sure, there's that too. My daughter could be a boy and nobody would know the difference. We cut her hair. I mean, she literally only wants to wear, you know, she's what they call a tomboy, right? Well, what if she came to me and said, oh, I want to be a boy? Like, then we'd have to seriously discuss that. And I assume Dwayne Wade and his wife, they talk about it a lot. And I think it's probably a very big thing in their family. Can a kid know that? I think they can. I think they definitely can. I really wouldn't want to actually do any surgical procedures until they've really thought about it their entire life, like entire childhood at least.
I feel like, you know, there at some point, you know, geneticists are just going to figure out like literally what every strand means on, you know, on DNA, because
it doesn't mean anything until we assign meaning, and that's the problem. We assign meaning in these sports because we've segregated this way. We've said women play these sports and men play these sports, and that's where we've created our own problems because it really doesn't mean anything. You want to be a man, you want to be a woman, fucking be it. Like gender's a spectrum, be it. Where it comes into problems is in this area where we've made the labels and we've defined these little things and in order to be on this team. And so the problem with that is because we've created it this way, now we need to serve it what you've created. Like you can't now take all this whole thing you've created. Women have spent their entire lives building themselves up to compete in this thing that you've created for them, and now tell them, oh, well, we've changed it because this guy now said he's a woman, so he gets to be in here. Like, I just feel like that's too much. You can't just change the rules that much on people.
Wait, are you, just so I understand, are you saying that you feel like boys and girls, men and women should be competing against each other?
No, I'm just saying that well, you and I have talked about that before. We should just have all co-ed sports. Why not? If you have the same amount of men and women on a team playing against each other, that'd be awesome. Like, think about that. We have to start thinking for the future about how.
Well, who's gonna pay to see that?
I don't know. Right now, you don't think so because it's not something that you watch or want to watch right now. But if we find a way, like we have to start thinking about those kind of things as our society is shifting. But we can't take the old way and then just add in a man in there. Like, what? No, you can't. That doesn't work. Like. No, but he says he's a woman. He's clearly a fucking man. Look at him. He's
well, he is a woman because he said
he is. That's it. Like, oh, okay. Today I'm a man. Today I'm a man.
No, that's not. It's not that simple. You listen to me. It's not that simple. You have to go through steps to ensure that you fit this box of what a woman is according to their rules and guidelines. So I cannot just wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm going to be a woman. Oh yeah, and I'm going to compete in the weightlifting.
Listen, still okay. We were looking for. It's called deadlift, right? So according to this, here I'll show you this. According to this website, which is strengthlevel.com, this shows average beginner, novice, intermediate, advanced, and elite deadlift pounds for body weight. So the body weight's here. If a woman weighs this much, here are the amounts.
Wow. So the highest is 442 pounds.
442, yes. Elite. If the woman's 260 pounds.
Right.
So this man is going to come and blow them out of the water. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
I mean, I don't much care for the Olympics anyways. I'm not a big sports fanatic. I mean, you know that anyways.
You're not?
I think the whole idea of like, oh, we have these sports and everybody yells and cheers and I wear the jersey for somebody, like, never quite got it anyways. I saw a stand-up of Chris D'Elia, and he was like, if you're a man and you're wearing the jersey with another man's name on it, he's like, there should be a rule that if that guy sees you out in public, he should get to fuck you in the ass. He's like, that's just the rule. He's like, I didn't make the rules. That's just the rule. If you're wearing a shirt that has another man's name on it and he sees you, he gets to fuck you in the ass.
That should apply to the woman wearing the jersey too, then, right?
Sure. Woman, I never got into it. Like, oh yeah, like I know there's great like team building and communication things in there to be learned, but I never got the mass hysteria over it. Like even now, like football, like how is this so big? I don't get it.
It's the competition. Well, I mean, I'm sure anyone could give you a different answer, but for me, it's just the competition is so amazing to watch. For instance, I really don't get into like basketball anymore, but 20 years ago, you would have thought I was the biggest basketball fan ever. But since I stopped playing basketball and just really stopped following it, I honestly don't give a crap. I haven't watched one game in the playoffs this year so far. I love football. I love the competition. I love to see men compete and you know, break records and do all kind of crazy stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
She's like, why are you here? Come here. I want you to say hi. I'm here. Come here. Oh no, come here. She's like, Mom, why are you here? Just stay here for a second. Just relax.
You know what? You brought sushi on the show. I should have Noah in here right now because Noah just asked me, like, can I get on the podcast? And I was like, not today, but I didn't know this was Bring Your Child to Work today.
My other one's down here too. He's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you guys doing? I'm like, I want to be in that.
Cheeto. Is Cheeto good? Speaking of Cheeto.
You want to see him? Hold on.
Oh, Lord. Goodness gracious.
Come here. Oh.
That's your deadlift? Oh, just all over the face. Oh wow. Love it.
Right in the mouth.
Oh.
No, you didn't want me to carry you. Now you want to be right there. Hi. Say hi. Oh, hi. Okay.
Oh, wonderful. You're abusing your dogs on national television.
For all 60 of our viewers. Hey, my friend wants to know, did anybody call you from Antarctica yet?
I have gotten no communication from Antarctica, which still leads me to believe that A, we have no viewers in Antarctica and the Earth is flat.
Okay. So if you're living on Antarctica and you're watching this, please send us a cold email.
No, you know what we need? We need a transgender weightlifter from Antarctica that believes the Earth is flat while being depressed in a state of
no friends.
just cover all the bases for us, Antarctica. I believe in you. We've got the rest of the world covered. We just need you, yes. Antarctica. You know, you and I honestly could probably use some therapy. Like we should just have a therapist come on the show and just therapize both of us.
Like we just show our therapy sessions. Like we just lay it all on the table right on the show. You know what else we could do? We could watch like football games. Like we couldn't show it obviously because of copyright, but like we could commentate for it. It would be really funny because I hate football.
I was gonna say I would love to hear you commentate a football game.
The ball. Watch out! Oh,
I'd be like, Nicole, that's the referee. Oh. That's the referee.
Like, look at that guy running so fast along the line there.
Yeah, please don't commentate on a football game. Please don't. Please. We should never do that.
If they said they are going to allow this transgender woman into the Olympics, so they said it's already done. But
it's done. Yeah,
it's done. Like I feel like they should rethink that.
There's not going to be any rethinking that. And the reason why there's not going to be any rethinking that is because they know they will get blown up by the community. The community will absolutely blow.
The transgender community. So 2% of the people are going to be very upset.
Yes,
98%
very upset.
of the people are already upset because this is happening. So who are you? That's what I don't get about this inclusion society that we live in. Is it?
Let me just ask you, what does your perfect society look like?
Ooh, we'll have to think about that sometime. I mean, that's a loaded question because that's a lot. Like, oh, really?
All dogs.
Really?
All dogs.
Yeah, no people, just dogs everywhere. Like it'd be like heaven. Just dogs. They're so good.
I would blow my brains out.
Trashy. She did not like what you said there. Not happy about that. Oh, stop it. I'm not playing with you right now. Stop it.
Sushi, we are recording.
Yes,
Please.
Mama's busy. I don't know, but we would have to, that can be another episode. Let's think about like what our ideal society would be.
Mine would be a thriller video. Oh my gosh, you got to stop doing that. That jars me. It jars me.
I'm gonna
This is
close.
a great.
I'm gonna close.
You can't flip your eyelids inside out, can you?
I don't think so. I never tried.
Remember when kids used to do that? Flip their eyelids inside out. That's like scratching a chalkboard.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, anyways, so we're not watching the Olympics this year because fuck that.
You're not watching? I gotta see this dude.
Then you're feeding. You're feeding that stuff. I'm like, I don't do that. No.
Oh well.
No. I'm not watching. Well, I don't watch it anyway, so there's that.
I just want to watch him come out.
Is it on Netflix? If it's not on Netflix, I can't watch it anyways.
I don't know anything about that.
He'll just take the 300-pounder and just throw it. give me a 600-pounder. Oh, I feel like
with the long flowing beautiful hair, eyes done.
Yes, be quiet. Apparently, it's time to go for a walk.
Okay, this was wonderful.
Okay.
Clearly, we're so organized.
Hey.
Oh, push the button.
Oh yeah, damn it. First YouTubers.
Push the button. Not only push the button, tell your friends, family, dogs, otherworldly individuals, push the button.
If you want more of this titillating conversation, press subscribe.
I haven't been titillated since 2003. And I'll thank you to stay out of my personal affairs.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.